Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the John Garlick Show. I am your host, Lacey Klontz, and I am joined tonight by Deanna McElroy. Deanna, thank you so much for being here with us. And John, we miss you. We're very sorry that you couldn't be here tonight, but he will be back here next Wednesday night. Now, Deanna here, she is from ASAP. Deanna, can you tell everyone what that stands for?
ASAP stands for the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention.
Awesome. Well, how long have you worked there?
I've been there over 2 years, going on 3.
Okay, awesome. Now, can you tell us a little bit about what ASAP is and what you all do?
Absolutely. So ASAP is a prevention agency, meaning that our focus is on education and awareness in the community rather than treatment, recovery, or counseling. So what we do is we're at the forefront of substance misuse. We are educating before someone gets on those substances.
Okay, awesome. And you said you've been there for 2 years? And what exactly is your job title?
I'm a prevention specialist.
Okay. And what all does your job entail?
So as a prevention specialist, what we do is everyone in the agency basically works on a grant. So since we're a nonprofit, we're grant funded. I work on a grant based in Cleveland County, and then we also all work together to come up with creative ideas and find ways just to make prevention fun and educate the community in an innovative way.
Okay, and can you elaborate more on that? Like, what all types of things do y'all do to do that?
Absolutely. So we host events in the community. That's a big thing. I think we're going to talk about a few of our upcoming events a little later. And then also there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into prevention, like keeping up with data, knowing what's going on in the community, working in the schools, and things of that nature.
Okay, great. And now, what's required to become a prevention specialist?
Well, you'll need a degree to be a prevention specialist. You'll need at least a bachelor's degree, and then you'll need a little knowledge about, what it is and what's going on in the community. But I think the main thing that you need to be a prevention specialist is just a passion to help. Yeah.
Well, I know you do a great job at helping people. I know that, we were talking a little bit earlier about how, most people who work there, there's some kind of reason behind it. There's always a passion. I know you're really big into mental health and psychology. We were talking about that, and that's kind of a big factor with this sort of thing. Now, can you tell us, kind of along those same lines, what are the substance abuse risk factors that you see? Like, who's most prone for substance abuse?
So it's hard to say who would be most prone, because as we know, substance misuse is a disease that doesn't discriminate.
Right.
Anybody can be prone to it, but there are certain risk factors coming from underserved communities, childhood trauma, mental health issues. All of those things could play a role in enticing someone to use substances. And then the most prominent people that could also use substances, because it just doesn't discriminate, and that's what makes it so scary.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's really, you just never know what you're going to be faced with in life, and nobody ever plans for this sort of thing to happen at all. What would you say are the most common substances that are abused?
So we know right now that the biggest issue is fentanyl, and we know that because we are able to keep up with data on overdoses in our area, and so we've seen that become more and more of an issue throughout time. So right now, fentanyl being mixed into other substances is a huge issue.
Oh my goodness. Well, now, what are some statistics on other substances? Like, what do you also see a lot of?
We see a lot of prescription substance misuse, and that's what, fentanyl is being mixed into those drugs. So usually it's not just fentanyl, it's fentanyl that you didn't know was mixed into oxy or even meth or heroin or things of that nature.
Oh my goodness. And now, you don't offer counseling or that sort of thing, but you do go around to places and help educate.
We do.
Right? Okay, yes. Now, what would you say are the consequences of substance abuse?
The consequences can range, and that's what makes it, such a huge problem, because it could range from, being caught with substances and going to jail, all the way to overdosing, and overdose is it's a rising issue, and it's a sad issue, but it's a big consequence.
Yeah, it really is. Now, can you tell us some prevention tips? I know you specialize in this sort of thing, so I really want to dive deep into all the different ways that you can prevent substance abuse.
So prevention tips, I would say the main one is just to be aware. Be aware of what's going on in your community. Be aware of what you can do to prevent substance misuse. A big thing that we do, and we're going to talk about, is National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. So that's where we're able to collect prescription medications that you might have in your home. And doing that, getting rid of those in the home, it creates where someone couldn't get access to those drugs who didn't have any business access in them, and things like that, like participating in days like that, knowing what your resources are, and then knowing the dangers of substance misuse.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now, sorry, our producer was saying something. Sparky, you want to come up here? Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say there's somebody out there who is struggling and they want help. They really want to seek help, but they're scared. They're nervous, they're embarrassed, they're maybe ashamed of it. How do they go about that in a discreet manner?
So that's common, and there is a lot of stigma around like mental health issues and substance misuse. You could always reach out to ASAP in a discreet manner, and even though we don't offer those services, we'll connect you to someone who does offer those services. So it could be as simple as just calling our phone number, and we'll connect you to people that we work with, because we partner with treatment agencies and things like that.
Okay. And what type of treatment agencies? Can we say names, or?
So the main person we would refer to is Ross, and Ross is a great agency because it's peer led, and Ross will come out and meet you where you are. So it's a great agency.
So that you just call them, and
you just call
them. They'll come to your house, or where?
I don't want to say for sure that they'll come to your house, but they will get you to where you need to be, no matter what. And then I think you'll be assigned someone who follows you through your entire recovery journey. So,
that's great, and I know that probably helps a lot too in the journey. Just being with the one person, so you're not having to talk to too many people about it. So, what are maybe some other tips that you can think of?
I would say, especially for parents, talk to your children about substances. Talk to your children about vaping. A lot of times you think that wouldn't be an issue, and it is, because it's an issue in the schools, and we know that it's a big issue in the schools. I would say just be open about it. And then if you are struggling with substance misuse, find someone to talk to. Even if you're not ready to get help, find someone who cares enough about you that knows that you're struggling, and can eventually get you there.
Well, I believe we are going to our next commercial break, so we will be right back.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Get ready, get set, and go to Team 1 Toyota, where you'll find the best deals in Alabama. The new 24 Toyota models are here on the lot and ready to go.
Great deals, big incentives,
and low finance rates. Plus a lifetime powertrain warranty and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
So get ready, get set,
and go to Team 1 Toyota, where we're driven by great people and great prices.
Parents, I have something that'll teach your child how to follow directions and finish what they start. I'm talking about STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now we're having a free STEM Extravaganza on Saturday, April 20th at the City Meeting Center in Anniston. Registration is free at academics.com. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Joseph.
And all around Ashley's.
Yes.
We're proud to offer notary services.
Also, we have accessories such as men's jewelry, women's jewelry. Please come and check out our location here at 1330 Berry Street.
So also, we know the prom season is coming up, and we would love you guys to come down. My theme here is actually make matching bracelets, so come and get a bracelet to match your dress. We are so proud to be here, a part of Oxford, Alabama, and the business community.
So thank you again for sharing this time with us. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the John Garlick Show. Again, I'm Lacey Klontz, and I'm here with Deanna McElroy from ASAP. Now, for those who are just tuning in, Deanna, brief everyone on what ASAP stands for.
ASAP is the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention, and we are located in Oxford, Alabama. And what we are is a prevention-based agency providing education and awareness in relation to substance misuse.
Awesome. Now, earlier we were talking a little bit about risk factors and what makes people prone to this sort of thing. So I really want to dive deep into that. Now, we all know that it can really affect anybody because you never know, things happen in life and nobody ever plans for this sort of thing to happen. It just happens. So what are some things that you have seen?
So one thing that I know is a huge risk factor, and it's also the thing that makes prevention so important, is that a lot of times people are just undereducated. Okay. They don't know the resources around them. They don't know the dangers of the drugs they're using, especially if it's in young people. And that, we don't like to admit that that's an issue, but it is an issue. And it's important that you understand, like, these are dangerous substances. There are a lot of risk. And also understand the resources around you, because there are a lot of resources in our area that, just maybe aren't as publicized as they should be. And working in prevention, that's something we want to do. We want to make the whole community aware of what's available.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, a lot of this, I feel, and I could be wrong, but there's a lot of, mental health that is linked to this. I mean, do you see a lot of substance abuse with, like, maybe they already had a mental health disorder and then the substance abuse started, or does it flip-flop? Like, what have you personally seen?
Because we work in education, we don't specifically work with those individuals, but I do know that mental health plays a major role in substance misuse.
Yeah.
And mental health and substance misuse are both so stigmatized.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to reach out and give those people the help that they need because they might feel ashamed to reach out for help or something like that. So I do think it plays a huge role, and no matter which order it comes in, like mental health first or the substance misuse, you really have to treat both things to really, make a difference.
Right, absolutely. And like you were saying earlier, you can link these people to people who can help them with those things. So you can link them can you link them with counselors?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So working in prevention, we do a lot of community-based work, meaning we work with the people around us to make a difference, because the goal is to make that difference, and you can't do it alone. And ASAP is big on communicating with other people in the community to make that impact.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, earlier we were talking about the main types of substances that are abused, and you said fentanyl was the number one, and you said sometimes it's even mixed with other things, and people don't realize that. So besides fentanyl, what are the other major ones that are more common?
Other major substances that are common and would be the most common in our area are heroin and methamphetamines.
Wow.
And before fentanyl, those were the most common, but now we're seeing fentanyl just becoming more and more prominent, either by itself or mixed with those.
Goodness. And now you told me during the break that you know the actual numbers of some of these statistics. Can we hear some of those?
Right. So I'm going to start in 2021 or 2020, where the numbers were a little lower. They were around at 29 overdoses for Calhoun County. And that was a little lower considering that in 2023 we know that there were at least 55 overdoses in Calhoun County, and you know, that's really sad. It's almost double. There's more pending, and it's a little bit because of the fentanyl crisis and a little bit because of the pandemic, but it's a big issue.
Yeah, and it's just such a sad thing too. So we just really want everybody to be aware. Now, I want you to elaborate more on the prevention tips. I know earlier you said be educated and be aware, but what else? What can people who are struggling do to just say they're going through a really, really, really hard or a traumatic time in their life and they're about to start abusing substances? What can they do to stop themselves in their tracks, to just be like, no?
Well, my personal advice to someone going through that would be to reach out to someone who can help you, you know, whether that be a counselor, a friend, a family member, and then find ways to get involved in your community, because there's a lot of beauty in life if you look for it and you find it, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to deter you from doing that, but you have to look for them and find them and, you know, want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mindset, right? It is an absolute mindset. Now, tell me, I've heard about someone named Prevenger?
That's right.
Who is that?
The Prevenger is a superhero who lives in Preventionville, and she fights off illicit substances. So some of her main villains are Vapinator, which is vapes, Little Boozy, which is alcohol, Split Dose, which is prescription substance misuse, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget any. Oh, Icky Nicky, which is cigarettes.
Icky Nicky cigarettes. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Now, how long has Prevenger been around?
She's been around a couple of years fighting off these substances. It's really interesting, actually, because she just also found her brother, Sober Soldier, that she didn't know that she had. So now they're going to fight off these substances as a team.
That is fantastic. May the force be with them.
Right.
Now, I know that they are in a lot of your commercials. Actually, speaking of commercial, we're going to go to one in just a moment. And when we come back, we want to talk more about your commercials and the creativity behind the Prevenger. Okay. All right, well, everyone stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't let substances tie you down.
Get ready, get set,
And go to Team 1 Toyota, where you'll find the best deals in Alabama. The new 24 Toyota models are here on the lot and ready to go.
great deals, big incentives.
And low finance rates. Plus a lifetime powertrain warranty and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
So get ready, get set,
And go to Team 1 Toyota, where we're driven by great people and great prices.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
And we are back with the John Garlic Show. I'm Lacey Klontz. Joining me today is Deanna McElroy from ASAP. Again, Deanna, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, now we just saw a commercial. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The Prevenger commercial?
Prevenger.
Yeah, so like I said, Prevenger is a superhero living in Preventionville, and what she does is she fights off illicit substances, Icky Nicky, Mary Jane, Vapinator, and Little Boozy, and split dose.
That is fantastic. Now, tell us about all the creativity that goes into this.
So, not to brag too much on ASAP.
Go
but
ahead,
ASAP
brag
is
away.
A creative bunch of people, and
Yeah.
our supervisor really tells us, like, if you have an idea, throw it out there and we'll make it happen. So the original Prevenger, I think, was an idea from an intern that we had. And she thought of making a comic book, and it started from that comic book. And our coworker Queer Elaine kind of took over after she left, and she just made it happen, and it's just been amazing.
Wow. Well, I think they're very, very fun, and I think they really appeal to, the younger generation as well. And you were saying earlier that sadly, young people do they get involved in these things, and we have been able to also get these comic books out to like our local schools and even some schools that aren't as local, and it's been really appreciated and a big hit. Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk about that, the really younger generation, the kids. Now, what is the youngest that you've seen?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that you would be surprised at how young these things start. Like middle school, high school age children having vapes and things like that.
That's very common. They think it's so cool.
That's right.
I don't understand it. I mean, because used to, I felt like when vapes first started being a thing, it was to help people who were just smoking cigarettes to come off of cigarettes. But now it just seems to be a trend with flavors, and I think the flavor thing, that's a big thing with the younger kids.
And the ease of access to getting a vape is a big thing.
Yeah. Now, I could be way off on this, but I have heard stories about things being, like bad things being laced and put in the vapes. Like you can buy them. Sometimes you can buy them now. I don't know. Do you know anything about that?
I know that that's always a risk, and I don't think that, middle school age children are they don't understand the risk that they're taking when they engage in these things.
No, absolutely not. Well, now, there is a campaign that y'all have going on called, what was it?
The Ballers Against Bullets.
Ballers Against Bullets. Now, let's watch the commercial on that.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Omari Hardwick, and I'm a baller against bullets.
I am a baller against bullets.
I'm a baller against bullets. This is Chad Slade from BMF, and I'm a baller against bullets.
My daughter, Anaya Blanchard, was a baller against bullets.
Fantastic. Now, can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Ballers Against Bullets is an initiative to address gun violence, actually.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we know that oftentimes gun violence and substance misuse go together. They intersect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we've noticed gun violence is also rising just as much as substance misuse in the community. And my supervisor, I think, actually had a passion for this because he kind of started this himself, and it's just blossomed into this Ballers Against Bullets. And the idea behind it is a lot of young people look up to celebrity athletes.
They do. Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want to be when they grow up.
Yeah.
And so we just want to mobilize these athletes to be that real role model in the community and, intervene with these kids.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely fantastic and just a wonderful thing. Now, you do have some events coming up. ASAP does, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, let's talk about those.
Okay, so our next event is our Operation Home Car Wash, and this is an event for service members, veterans, and their families. So if you have a military ID, you can come out to Extreme Car Wash in Anniston anytime on March 29th, 10 to 2, bring that military ID and you get a free car wash, and you're also going to get some prevention materials and an opportunity to win a prize.
Now when you say prevention materials,
we have specific brochures for that grant that contain like resources that are needed, but we also have fun things, you know, to give out. So I want you to come out and be surprised at, you know, how lucky you were.
I love that. Now, you have another event coming up at the end of April, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So National Prescription Drug Take Back Day is one of our biggest events. We actually do it 2 times a year, and this is an opportunity for the community to bring any unneeded or unused prescription medications that they might have in their home and to dispose of them properly. So we're at these 4 locations you see on the screen there, and you just bring those medications. You have an opportunity to win a smart TV when you participate in these events, and you're also you know, getting rid of these prescriptions the proper way and the safe way.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I actually did not even know that that was a thing like that, that they had specific days for just doing that, and I think that's awesome. And the smart TV is definitely
right.
That's very enticing, I know. Oh, me. Now, how can people get involved? Do you accept volunteers if people want to volunteer for this organization?
We do accept volunteers, and we've had a lot of volunteers in the past. And then also, if you follow our social media page, we're on every social media platform, and you'll learn all about our events, and you can just reach out, and we would love to have people more involved.
That's fantastic. Now, something I would like for us to close with. There's people out there who do struggle with this. Now, let's say someone at home watching us right now is struggling, and they're in the dark, nobody knows about it, it's an internal battle. What would you like for them to know?
So I have no doubt that there may be someone out there who is going through that, and I would just say find someone and reach out to them. Let someone help you, you know, and it doesn't have to be ASAP, but it can be ASAP. You can call ASAP and we'll connect you to whatever resource that you need, because that's what we're here for. But there's other people in the community that want that for you. There's a lot of people rooting for you, whether you know it or not.
That's fantastic. Yep, help is always there when you need it, all the time. Okay, so we're about to close up, so let's just go over those dates really quickly for those events.
Okay, so the Operation Home Car Wash is March 29th from 10 to 2. You bring a military ID, you get a free car wash. National Prescription Drug Take Back Day is April 27th. That's a Saturday from 10 to 2 at any of those 4 locations on the screen.
Fantastic. Well, Deanna, is there anything else that you would like to close with?
I do want to thank you for having me on the show. I've had a really nice time, and it's great just to let the community know more about what's going on.
Oh, well, we thank you so much for being here. And thank you, John, for introducing us. Well, I'm Lacey Klontz again. This is Deanna McElroy. I said your last name right. McElroy. All right. Well, we will see you all next week right here on The John Garland Show.